there, Northwest Fishing Reports fans. This is Hannah Pennebaker, and today we are at Riffe Lake. Got a little bit of a special guest here. You may recognize Blake Nelson from Washington Fish Quest.
Hello!
There's actually 3 different types of trout and coho and salmon that you can catch in this lake. We've got landlocked kings, we've got landlocked coho, and we've got triploid trout, right, Blake?
Hey, that's right. Yeah, this is a very special fishery. There's lots of kokanee fisheries around the state. This is one where it's landlocked coho, not kokanee, and they hit really well. Also we got those triploid trout. Those were going to be used for restaurants and stuff in the commercial sector, but due to the pandemic, they couldn't use them. So Tacoma Power said, hey, we'll take them. I think I just heard one jump right over there. So maybe we'll get into that one. But and then also on top of that, there is some Springer mini jacks in here that came back to the Cowlitz hatchery. Not a whole lot of them, but they get dumped in here too. So heck, it's like fishing the Puget Sound or something. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, sounds like there's plenty of fish in this lake, right? So there's actually 2 types of fisheries at this lake. Shore fishermen do well, people on boats do well. Down at Mossy Rock Dam, there's actually a fishing bridge that you can fish off of. You can cast a bobber and like a sand shrimp over there, or a salad shrimp, and then you can actually troll for these guys out here. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be trolling for whatever bites out there. So join us and let's go fishing. One word of caution about launching at this lake is that it is a reservoir and that the waters drop accordingly throughout the year. Right now we're at a point in the year where it's a little bit higher, so it's not as much of a concern, but if you're launching early, late season, the water level might be real low and that dock might not be there. So it's going to be quite the drive to back in your trailer, and then you might not have a nice dock to launch from. You might have to jump in from the sides. So just a bit of a word of warning there. Be prepared to back up about a couple hundred feet. It's quite a long boat launch. They actually, in fact, shut down some of the boat launches out here. Today we're at Mossy Rock Park because we know that it's available to use during year-round most conditions. But once the lake does get below a certain level, they do shut down boat launches because they just get too low.
One of the things we're going to use for trolling today is we have 3 people and everybody can use up to 2 rods each, but we're still only going to run 4 poles. But one of our tricks for getting that many poles on the downriggers, this lake is really deep, so you want to be able to target where your fish are, because not all of them are going to be on the surface. There's a lot of fish here, but we use the shuttle hawks and they just slide down the downrigger line, and you just drop them as far as as you want on the downrigger line, and they'll just stay right there, and as soon as they pop out of this clip, they return to the surface for you to remove them and do it again.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Time to dye my fingers.
I have gloves.
All right, we got a fish on here. One thing, if you ever watch my YouTube channel, I never am not excited when I'm reeling a fish. I can reel in 100, and everyone's like the first time. So giant thanks to Hannah and Chris for getting me out. That's a nice fish.
Nice. Let's get him in.
See if I can. Here he comes. Woo! Dang!
Fatty.
Yeah, that's one of them triploids. Jeez, they're getting big. I mean, that's at least a 16-incher. Holy smokers. Feels great. Thank you so much again for having me out. And that hit the shrimp, too. We've been getting hits on this, the green corn. That hit some garlic tuna-soaked salad shrimp. 15, it shrunk an inch. Wow.
Yeah. Big fish.
Oh, that's a fish. That's a fish, fish. Come and grab it. Oh, I guess even the camera girl gets to catch a fish.
Hey, that's right.
Oh, I felt like it might have just came off.
Oh.
We'll see though, we'll see.
Sorry, I should have grabbed it.
He came off, but he had some pretty good fight there for a few seconds. So no worries, we've already lost, a couple, got one in the boat, so pretty decent day of fishing so far. Let's see if we can catch a few more.
And so far, Hannah's spotted them all.
I don't sleep on fish. Oh, that's another, you're just hitting it. Okay.
This one's on the shuttle hawk for now. All right, fish on. They're everywhere here. They're like we haven't even been able to get all the rods in the water. Fish are everywhere here.
That's fishing at Riffe Lake for you. You know, there's, like we mentioned, there's kings, there's coho, there's trout in here. Can't not catch fish. How did you feel?
Oh, he's got some good shakes here and there, but I don't know how much he knows he's hooked.
Yeah, you know, we got this whole lake to ourselves. We're bringing him in nice and slow. You notice Chris is doing these nice sweeping motions, right? He's got to make sure you keep pressure on these fish, keep them hooked. We got the whole lake. We're just taking it slow, and actually there's not a lot of people out here today. All right.
See some chrome.
We're gonna get this guy in the net. All right.
All right.
That is a little landlocked coho, folks.
Hey, all right.
I think. Yeah, that's a coho for sure. Little coho. This is probably a year 1 coho. So they usually have about year 1, year 2 coho in here. So early in the season, you'll catch 2-year-old fish. They're a little bit bigger. Later in the season, you'll catch last year's plants. So they cut good. They still eat pretty good. But yeah, look at that nice blue back on them. Just a beautiful little coho. Nice job, Chris.
Thank you.
Let's catch some more.
Yep. We'll get our lines back out there.
One thing that I'd like to mention is that we're fishing about mid-late summer, so the water's very warm. Our fish finder says it's about 76 degrees. Trout and kokanee, or coho, they just don't survive warm weather well, right? So if you're going to be out here, you're going to be fishing in these warm weathers, I would plan on keeping everything you catch, because if I were to let this guy go, there's a good chance he wouldn't survive the release. So just to be an ethical angler, make sure that we ensure to keep these fish going for future generations. We're gonna go ahead and keep everything we catch today. Fish on! This is actually fish number 3. So we're doing pretty good. We got a triploid, and then we got a nice little landlocked coho. This one's feeling pretty heavy, feeling like it. Oh, there he goes. See those head shakes. This one's feeling like it might be a good-sized coho or maybe a triploid. The one thing that's nice about these line counter reels is you can see how much line you have. Whoa, there he goes. You can see how much line you have left, just so you can let your noter know, hey, I've got 30 feet, hey, I've got 10 feet left. I think it really helps increase your chances of landing the fish, because then you know how close they are to the boat. Not to mention, you know how long your setback is. The more information you know when you're fishing, the better. Wow, this one's got a good fight. Look at those head shakes. Once again, I've got the whole lake, so I'm just kind of reeling it in slow. You know, no need to rush. Got the whole lake to ourselves. We're here on a Monday. It's really not crowded. And this lake is so big, you don't have to worry about, you know, fishing shoulder to shoulder with other folks. All right, and I see leader, so I'm gonna go, wow, that's a nice fish. I'm gonna go ahead and back up and let my netter grab him.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. That is, oh geez, I actually don't know if this is a triploid or a...
That's a really, really nice landlocked coho.
That's a landlocked
Yeah,
coho.
that
Right.
is a beaut.
Wow.
That might be the nicest I've ever seen. That is very, very nice.
Wow, that's a beautiful fish. So, previous fish you saw was a little bit smaller. That might have been that 1-year age class. This looks like a 2-year age class. You can tell it's a coho because he's got that nice blue back. Look at that. That nice silvery, and then he's got silver spots on the tail. Let me go ahead and grab him for you. Wow, just a beautiful fish. Beautiful landlocked coho. Ooh, these are just great on the smoker. This is really one of my favorite fisheries out here. Let's talk a little bit about gear. You might be wondering what we're catching these triploids and these coho on. I've got just a Dodger. I believe this is either a dogtail or an arrow flash Dodger right here in pink. These coho seem to love pink. And then I've got about maybe a foot of leader with a little spinner right here, just a max wedding ring. So these fish are aggressive. You know, they like pink, but they'll hit on most any offering you throw out here. So got about, you know, 50, 45 feet deep. These fish do run a little bit deeper than the triploids. They like that cold water. Again, I mentioned earlier that the lake's pretty warm, so they're gonna be down there on the cold water feasting on krill. So just 2 things to remember, you know, pink and flash.
All right. We're into another one here. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And, you know, it's a 5 fish limit on this lake. It's landlocked salmon rules. And as a reminder, any fish you catch on bait counts as your limit. So even if we could release these fish, it would still count against our limit, but we're not, just due to the warm water. All right. Oh yeah, looks like another silver. Woo!
Pretty big school for this. How far we're zoomed out on the fish finder. That's got to be a nice large school. Another fish on. Literally just got this one back in the water. Can't get it. We always start just catching fish here. There's just too many fish here. They're almost all good size. Beautiful day out here. Nice Washingtonian day.
Go slow, I gotta get the hooks out of the net.
Oh. Okay, well we're already at 12 feet.
Okay, chaos out here, folks.
All right, here he comes.
Looks like a little coho. Yep, that's a coho. There you go, there's your fish.
Another fish in the boat.
Another fish on here. Puts me at mind for a story. We might be fishing above a town right now because Riffe Lake, you know, the dam came up in '68 is when the dam was finished. First it was called Davison Lake after the chief engineer, but local pressure, they changed it to Riffe because that's the name of one of the towns that is now beneath the waves. You know, they've moved out the people and the buildings and stuff. That was it.
Wow.
Oh, my story was so captivating, I didn't realize how big this fish was.
Wow.
Dang. Well, he said you wanted another nice silver, so there we go.
Wow, look at that fish.
Ah, they're so bright. Up there is Mossy Rock Dam. That's where I grew up, just fishing, throwing bobbers and Castmasters and big silver spoons. Usually in the spring, the fish are up there really shallow, and it is a blast. It is a kick in the pants. Regarding the bait we're using today, I carried some shrimp here. These are just salad shrimpies. So I have 3 different shrimp I brought. One that's not in the picture right now is just some I dumped some salt on when I used to bobber fish off of the dam. And in fact, I still bobber fish off the dam. That's what I do. I just put a bunch of salt on some shrimp, a bunch of coarse salt, just throw it in a bag. Does it? Oh, there's that pole's going off. I'm gonna grab it. But what I do, I'll keep talking about the shrimp I was holding up. So those were, you know, pink. That was actually just an egg cure, but you can make your own with, you know, food coloring and salt and borax. And then Hannah and Chris, they brought the corn. So we had some pink corn and some green corn. And at first we thought green was the ticket, but it turns out these dang fish, they're hitting everything. Any color's working.
Yep.
These fish are not picky today, anyway. Sometimes it's a one color or the other. Whew, this evens out my big fish, that's for sure. I want to keep that average, you know, at about 12 inches. So this is the, you know, this is more like the 8-inch side of that.
Little coho, right?
Yep.
Fish on. We just cannot stop catching fish here. So we might just have to switch to 2 poles just to slow our action down.
Yeah, we don't want to limit out too fast, right? I mean, it's a... Oh, and then the other pole's going off. We got a double.
Woo!
Oh, man. Oh, he's still... I don't know if he's still there, but yeah, that's...
Whoa.
He's feeling good?
He saw the boat or something.
Well, that's awesome.
All right, we'll net this guy, and then we'll go grab the other pole. All right,
Yeah.
Fish 1, and then we were going to grab this other one. I don't know if this fish is still here, but I definitely saw this pole go off, so I'm going to go ahead and get it off the cliff and see if he's still there. I don't think he's still there, but you never know. You never know out here. Feels a little heavy. Oh, it feels a little heavy. Oh, and that third, we got a triple.
Oh my
we got
word.
a triple out here. Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna. I don't recommend this.
Woo,
Wait.
nice flip. Sometimes
Okay.
you gotta flip.
You got a triple. I swear I saw that 4th pole bounce too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down to grab.
No, stop it. Stop it.
One word of caution when you're using shuttle hawks is you got to make sure to not use the automatic function on your downrigger because you will lose that shuttle hawk if you just bring it up. So you got to be kind of careful. Oh, that fish is gone. Well, that's what happens when you get a triple. The action's just so hot, it gets a little chaotic out here. So, you know, that's just the kind of fishing you can have out here at Riffe Lake. We'd love to see you guys out here. So, if fishing's hot, come out here. Wow, what a good day of fishing. Looks like we got a mix of coho and a mix of rainbow, but you know, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Blake, do you want to run us through?
Yeah. I mean, there's a few ways to tell the difference. So I think I might have even mid-ID'd that last one we got. But as you can see by the tails here, the rainbow has more of a paintbrush, not a full-on paintbrush, just a little divot there. Whereas the landlocked coho, you can see how much more forked that tail is. There's also like kind of more silvery specks around the end of a coho tail than a rainbow. And as Chris was pointing out, the faces of the coho tend to be more angular, and the trouts tend to be a little more stubby. Also, I'd say that the silvers are silver. That's why they call them silver. I was going to say their scales are a little finer as well, you know, and just more silvery. So there you go. Ho, ho, ho. I've died and gone to Riffe.
Wow, well, looks like we just about limited out there on Riffe. We were on there about like maybe 2-3 hours, and the bite was just red hot. We got a mix of coho, a mix of triploids, just fat fish out here. So Blake, I want to thank you for joining us here on Northwest Fishing Reports. It's great to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. Anytime. You'll have to swing by my little rinky-dink channel sometime. Yeah, great time. And thank you, Chris, for working those rods. I mean, I can tell you're in good shape, and now I understand why. How, you know, because, man, you'd put one of those down and bam.
Fish on one rod, putting bait on the other.
Yeah, wow, what an amazing day. We had some doubles, we had some triples. The action was just red hot. So come on down to Riffe Lake and get yourself some landlocked coho of yourself. We would love to see you out here. Once again, it's a 5-fish limit, whether you're fishing with bait or not. If you're fishing with bait, any fish you caught counts against your limit. So you can do some catch and release, but just keep in mind that any fish caught using bait counts toward your limit. But other than that, you know, it's a great time out here. The fishing's hot. Come on out. We'll see you on the next Northwest Fishing Reports.